philosophy, 23 years old, and mainly studying biochemistry. And besides of that, I'm studying cultural science with a focus on philosophy and history. And besides my studies, I'm socially engaged. I really love reading. My ultimate dream is to have a big house with a small own library, like you can see in The Beauty and the Beast. I really think that's my dream. But I really should not exaggerate. Just a big room with really big bookshelves filled with books, and I really love buying books because I enjoy it so much to read a book again and again. I also watch movies several times as long as the movie or the book is good, because I love it so much to find the small details or to understand what the author thought, because he or she mentioned something at the very beginning and you can see how their circle is closing. And besides of that, I just really thought for a long time to share my experiences with the world. You already know the topic of today's video because you have seen the title. And today I'm talking about being alone during Christmas season. To understand why I am talking about this topic, you probably need some of background information. I won't dig too deep into my life story, but just to understand why I'm talking about this topic and why it is relevant in my own life. So when I was 15 years old, I kind of left my family. There were just some issues that made it necessary that I get some physical distance, and in the years after that I spent Christmas in my youth residential group. I don't know the correct English term for this. It was a wonderful place for me. I have grown to the human being I am today, and I can just say a big thank you to my former caregivers in this living group. Oh, I'm really getting emotional here. Just a big thank you to my former caregivers who just showed me that I'm a worthy human being. So the topic of today's video, being alone during Christmas, maybe you know it, that you or somebody you know is alone during Christmas. And I think that because of the pandemic, more people have to stay at home during Christmas season, because it is not possible to go to Christmas markets, to meet a lot of friends, because it would be irresponsible, or it's not possible to drive home to the family every other weekend. And from my own experience, I know that whatever the reason is, being alone during Christmas season can be incredibly hard. You permanently see in ads how beautiful Christmas is, and you see you talking about the celebration of love and family, and this can be just hard, because when you've grown up in a culture where Christmas is celebrated as something really huge, and due to the pandemic, even more people will sit at home, and because of that, I've just thought to share some experiences and advice how to make this difficult time a bit more bearable. No matter if you are home alone because of the pandemic, or you've split with your partner, or you are in general not spending Christmas with your family, whatever the reason is for you, and I mean every human being is an individual, and because of that I can only share my experience, my advice, and you can take a look if this fits your life or not. When you have other advice that does not come to my mind right now, or that I just didn't heard of, feel very welcome to share them in the comment section. I'm really really excited to read them. It will definitely be a huge help for other people, and it would be the ultimate dream if we could push each other through this difficult time, because Christmas can be really tough even without a pandemic, and right now it's even harder for even more people. The big thing to just make the time a little bit easier, and this fits really to every situation whatsoever, that you really take care of your own needs. The best example that comes to my mind is that several years ago I've bought myself a little Christmas tree, and while in some years I really feel the need to place the tree in a really nice place, and I really don't need a lot of decoration because that just isn't me. I really do prefer a more minimalistic interior, except when it comes to my bookshelves, because then it is the more the better. So in some years I really feel to place this tree, and in other years, I really don't feel like it. Last year, I didn't feel like it. It just wasn't my year, and I really was happy for 2020 and thought this will be my year. But it really came in a completely different way. Even if after 2 weeks I feel different, I can put the tree somewhere else or put it back into the cupboard. Just pay attention to your own needs, and it is completely valid that your needs change with the time. My second advice is to really try to spend the whole Christmas season not alone. It is really important for me to say that being alone does not mean being lonely. I am somebody who really enjoys spending time on my own. Recharging for me only works when I'm alone. Maybe you know these memes where it is said that the social battery gets empty, and this really happens to me. It is a moment where I realize, okay, I've really had enough and I want to go home now. But during Christmas season, for me it happens really fast, from the state of being alone to feeling lonely. And because of that, it is my advice to spend as much time as you can and as it's bearable for you, not alone. Meaning, during the pandemic, just ask some friends whether they are available for a short video conference or for a little bit of Among Us. Just do some activities, but please stay distanced and meet the guidelines for the lockdown of the country you are living in. Just try to do stuff you really like. I, for example, will bake some cookies and I will gift them to some people. So I really enjoy baking, but I'm living on my own. I cannot bake all the time when I live alone, because who should eat all this? But during Christmas season, nobody will look at you in a strange way when you bake something and gift it to somebody else. Just do stuff you really enjoy and also get in contact with your friends. And that does not mean to just reply to somebody's Instagram story. Get in contact with a lot of people you really like. Getting rid of toxic people is a huge energy saver. My third advice is to get moved. Often, at least it is for me, the case that when I pulled myself together, I really have this feeling afterwards like, wow, this really felt good. There are some really cool dance workouts. During Christmas, we are really seduced to eat not really healthy. So maybe you can just try to cook a bit more healthy so you can treat yourself afterwards. Don't force yourself to something you really don't want to do. And if you want to eat gingerbread or chocolate, just do it. I can give the advice, and this somehow fits into topic of listening to your own needs. During Christmas season, do what you really like and enjoy. Watch your favorite movies, play some games. I'm a huge fan of Super Mario games, so when I play Mario games or in general any video games, I feel like I don't have to think. I mean, when I read, I still have the feeling that some brain capacity is working, and when I play video games, I feel like I can turn my head off. And even when I watch movies, I still try to analyze stuff. So just do the things you enjoy, and when the time is hard for you, don't punish yourself by saying, oh, I have already watched an episode and I really want to watch another episode, but I have to do X, Y, Z. And I mean, of course, still meet your deadlines, still do your school or uni assignments or bills that need to be paid, because you would feel even more stressed out if you didn't meet your obligations. But still, you can treat yourself. It is almost 4 weeks when you count the New Year's Eve too, because especially with the pandemic, these days will also be tricky. Get a present for yourself, and I don't mean in excess, but think about what you really want to have. So a few years ago, I gifted myself the Nintendo Switch, so you can also just think about what you really want, and if it is possible with your budget, treat yourself. Or you can join some groups that are playing Secret Santa. So my advice for the Christmas days themselves, a lot of people that are alone during Christmas season are not alone during the really Christmas days, but spend them with their family or a partner, and you should really search for an opportunity to not be alone on those days. I know from my own experience that I've told myself this will not be a big problem, but short term I had to find myself a solution, because I knew that I would not feel nice when being alone during those days. Please do something that really brings joy to you. A week ago I still thought that I would be alone these Christmas days, but a friend of mine, she would have been alone this year, and she knew that I would be alone too. So she asked me whether I want to go to her and we will cook a really nice Christmas dinner. And this is a huge recommendation. If you are really alone during Christmas days, cook yourself a really nice Christmas dinner, enjoy it, and do something you really like. If it wouldn't be for the pandemic, I would suggest you to find a social organization, because they are happy for people that are free on Christmas days to help them. But now ask a friend or some friends whether they are available for a small chat. The most important part is to get through these days and maybe even enjoy a little bit of it. The worst case is being alone, not doing anything, not having any kind of plan, just sitting there and thinking about everything. This is not good on these days, so I can really recommend to do something nice, to prepare a plan. So this is everything for the moment. If something else comes to my mind, I will share it with you. If you have any comments or more tips, just write it down in the comment section, and I would be happy to read it. Basically, I want to talk about my experiences and the things I've learned that I really want to share with you, with people who maybe are going into similar stuff right now. The big topic of my YouTube channel will be how to come out of bad situations and still living life in a good way. And I really want to clarify that does not mean that everybody has to go to university, but it rather means that you can find your way, your goals, to fulfill your dreams and to work towards them, and to not let your past define you or your current situation define you forever. I really do know from my own experience that even if at the moment it seems to be hopeless, there is hope, there is a way, but the way is pretty individual. There is no recipe on how you can get to your goals. Everybody's life is so different. Even I can only share my own advice from which I know that it may have helped other people or me. Because of that, it is really important to interact with each other in order to see what helped other people. And at this point, I also want to mention that bad situation is also so individual. I really believe that everybody can only, or better, I cannot tell how terrible something is for somebody else because I'm only living my life with my experiences. So I would be really glad if my advice helps some of you. I just want to try to show you how it is possible to come out of a bad situation, to live a positive life. And even I have bad days, I have really bad days. I truly believe that every emotion is valid, and it is not good to suppress these feelings because they will catch up with you. And if you are not able to cope with your emotions because it is just too much, it is always good to reach out for professional help. There is a lot of help out there, which is also important during this pandemic because due to this situation there are a lot of people who struggle right now. There are a lot who suffered from mental health issues even before and who struggle even more right now. And there really is no shame in reaching out for professional help because it only means that you are willing to be reflective about your emotions and your thoughts. Please let me know if you've liked this video or whether you have any other advice, and feel free to leave some ideas for other videos I could make. I already have some ideas for videos I want to make in the future, and you can follow me on Instagram. Maybe we can connect there. I think it would be really cool. And when you know someone who might need this advice, feel free to share this video with them. Leave a comment, feel free to text me. Also, when you just want to talk to someone, just text me. And when I have the time, I'd be glad to reply to you. So I really hope that you all are getting through these difficult times. I'm wishing you all the best, sending lots of hugs, and see you in the next video.